Hey YouTube, Simon Dixon here. I'm back for my first broadcast in 2022 because you are alive at one of the most interesting and exciting times in financial history, and I want to make sure that you are on the right side of that change. So hope you enjoyed the Christmas holiday period and you're starting 2022 on some of the things that you learned from watching this YouTube channel in 2021. Let's recap a few of them. In fact, we're going to recap 3 things that you can do while Bitcoin's crashing to change your financial future and be on the right side of the change. The first thing that we need to make sure that we're all doing throughout 2022 is ignoring the naysayers, and rather than valuing your wealth in dollars or pounds or a currency that goes down in value, value your wealth in a currency that is designed to have a scarce supply, and therefore as the demand increases go up in value, which of course is Bitcoin. And so if you are freaking out about the Bitcoin crash, 69,000 to approximately 41,000, and this is your first time, I completely understand why you might be feeling a sense of anxiety, but it is because you are valuing your wealth in a currency that goes down in value rather than a currency that is long-term designed to go up in value. In fact, it's been doing it for 13 years because the demand for money you can own, money you can spend, and money who has a fixed supply tends to go up over the long term. So if you are valuing your wealth and you are seeing your wealth shrink because you owned Bitcoin or you owned other cryptocurrencies and you're seeing the markets crash, then if you are not feeling a tremendous amount of excitement, then you are valuing your wealth in terms of fiat. Now, how do you stop that? The way you stop that is by separating your spending money from your investing money. If you have the two pulled together, then your expenses are in fiat currency, in pounds, dollars, euros, yen, whatever it may be for you. Then you're seeing the things that you need to buy, your purchasing power decrease as the market moves and goes through volatility. That is going to be the definition of insanity for you, because you are doing and you're thinking the same thing. You're expecting that your fiat value is going to go up or maintain the same, and you're planning your expenses short term. You are gambling, my friend, because Bitcoin is damn volatile relative to fiat currencies. So if you have your spending money and your investment money in the same place, then you will be tempted into valuing your wealth in fiat because your expenses are in fiat. If your expenses are in pounds and the pound value of Bitcoin's going down, then you're going to have a big problem because you can't cover the rent, the mortgage, or whatever you planned mentally. So separate your spending money and don't take volatility with your security money from your investment money. That's the first thing you can do. Value your wealth in Bitcoin if you're in the Bitcoin investment section. And therefore, when the price goes down relative to pounds, dollars, you see it only as an opportunity to be able to accumulate more Bitcoin if you're valuing your wealth in Bitcoin, if you implement the second thing. And the second thing is that spend less than you earn and invest the difference. So what is the difference between those on the right side of the financial system and the wrong side of the financial system? Those that are on the wrong side of the financial system borrow money in order to consume. And because all fiat currency is backed by debt and the system is engineered for you to go deeper and deeper into debt, then you end up on the wrong side of the financial system, because banks create money every time they issue a loan. And therefore, when you take out those loans and then you consume, you end up with no assets. Now, what happens with all the money that governments and central banks print and push into the economy? Well, it doesn't go to, it goes to pushing up asset prices. So those that invested in real estate and stocks and shares, if they're in the longer term and they're not retiring at the wrong time, then they end up on the right side of the financial system. Now, those that understand the Ponzi scheme-like features of our current financial system end up with some Bitcoin because it's money you can own, money you can spend, and money who has a fixed supply. And therefore, if you are using debt in order to consume, or you are using your wealth in order to accumulate assets through a wealth effect, then you end up on the right side of the financial system. So rule number one, when you're looking at the Bitcoin investment side, separate your spending money from your investing money. And then you value that wealth in Bitcoin rather than fiat. Now, if you spend less than you earn and invest the difference and you're going to be buying more Bitcoin, then what do you want to happen to the price of Bitcoin? Of course you want it to go down. The further down it goes, the more Bitcoin you can accumulate. The higher up it goes, the more fiat value you have. So you should be excited either way. But if you're separating your spending from your investing, then you really don't care. You want the markets to go down for as long as possible to capitulate more and more people to want to sell their Bitcoin to you. What's the third thing you can do? The third thing you can do is you can implement a little bit of leverage. And I don't mean leverage trading. Get yourself on the right side of the loan, not the wrong side of the loan. The wrong side of the loan is that the people that are destroying their wealth, speculating on cryptocurrencies, gambling on everything, using exchanges with leverage so that you can take short-term positions, create tax liabilities for yourself, and end up doing what 90% of people lose money at the 10% of insiders. So if you're not a whale and you're not an insider, you're probably going to lose that game. And so if you're trying to take some of your wealth and you're trying to take out a loan to go short on Bitcoin, then you are putting everything at risk and gambling. And so you could do that. You could come up with charts and technical analysis and try and model things and listen to all the people that are doing their blockchain analysis. Or you could just simply do what works for everybody, which is thinking longer term and doing one simple thing: accumulate more Bitcoin than you had last month. In which case you want the price to go down so that when you spend less than you earn and invest the difference, you accumulate each month, not caring what the price is. As long as the price is going down, you're happier. Because we know the long-term trends of Bitcoin. 13 years, obviously I can't predict the future, and historical performance is no indication of future returns. However, money you can own, money you can spend, and money has a fixed supply. I forecast, and my investment thesis is that the demand goes up over time, especially with everything that I know about traditional finance and the financial system. So you could take some of your Bitcoin and you could take additional risk with it, i.e. you could collateralize it, you could decide to lend some of it and receive some returns. But remember, Bitcoin you own and Bitcoin you lend are two different asset classes. They're not the same thing. So we don't take all of our Bitcoin and lend it, because then we're at the risk of a counterparty and those loans going in something that you didn't expect. So you can either accumulate more Bitcoin in order to end up with more Bitcoin that month, or you can decide that you want to get on the right side of the loan, lend some of that Bitcoin and end up with a bit more. But as long as you're not taking all of your Bitcoin, you're using risk management, you're using asset protection, you're using sound principles. And if you want to binge on this topic and you want to set 2022 as a year where you finally take the financial situation and you take control of it, you separate your spending money from your investing money, you spend less than you earn and you invest the difference, and you end up with more Bitcoin each month than you did the previous month, then head over to retirementplanb.com and you can binge on 15 hours of masterclass where I give you the best of what I got completely free for those that want to make 2022 the best financial year. And set the path for the long term. Because remember, we're not thinking about 1 year, we're thinking about, most people vastly overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year and underestimate what they can achieve in 5 to 10 years, especially those that were born around the internet, where they've lost their patience. And so enjoy that content. What have I been up to over the Christmas period? So I took a bit of break from content, but now I'm back. I just finished at the gym, just got off the treadmill, and been working on a really compelling vision for 2022. A few things that I've been up to over the period. I wasn't resting. I was working with the El Salvador government, helping them structure the Bitcoin volcano bond and all the partners and ultra exciting things that are happening with Bitcoin becoming legal tender, Bitcoin redefining securities, and watch out for really great exciting announcements. If you want to follow what's been going on with the Bitcoin volcano bond, we are really in exciting times in terms of redefining securities laws, and really a president in El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender, stood up to the IMF, and is structuring a financial system based upon Bitcoin, money you can own, money you can spend, and money who has a fixed supply, so that countries can follow these 3 rules that I told you, and they can get themselves and remain sovereign. If you want to understand more, head over to retirementplanb.com/bond. We're also happy to announce at Bank to the Future that finally we signed a contract with the Celsius team. Celsius was one of the highest performing investments on Bank to the Future in terms of the time frame. Within 1 year, it went from 120 million valuation to 3.75 billion valuation. Incredible growth. If you haven't got your account ready on banktothefuture.com, then you need to re-verify and recertify because over last year we had to implement compliance with new securities laws, and I hope over the coming months, at the moment we can only work with those that have $1 million of assets or more, but get your accounts ready if you don't, because we're hoping to make some very exciting announcements for those that have not achieved that high net worth investor status yet. So get your account ready, whether you're a high net worth investor or not. The platform will only show you investment opportunities that are available to you. And we are really excited about what 2022 brings for you. So let's just do a quick recap. Firstly, value your wealth in Bitcoin, not in fiat currency. You will survive the crash. You don't care how much it crashes. I've seen my $30 Bitcoin crash to $3, my $1,250 Bitcoin crash to $250, my $20,000 Bitcoin crashed to $3,000, and at the moment I've seen my $69,000 Bitcoin hover around $41,000, and hoping that I get to accumulate more Bitcoin. Why? Because I spend less than I earn and invest the difference, so that I end up with more Bitcoin each month than I did the previous month by buying some and taking a percentage of that and lending some, so that each month you end up with more Bitcoin than previously. Individuals can do it, companies are doing it, and now countries are doing it. If you want to get yourself in a mindset to make 2022 a transformative financial year for yourself, then head over to retirementplanb.com and binge on that 15 hours free masterclass I created for everybody. If you want to understand what countries are doing, head over to retirementplanb.com/bond. And if you want to explore investing in the Celsius opportunity and other opportunities that are coming, not just for high net worth investors, but for non-high net worth investors, then make sure that you update, verify, and certify your account on banktothefuture.com, because we've got so many regulatory requirements with all these new securities laws, and get ready for some exciting announcements in 2022. Always remember, you are alive at one of the most interesting and exciting time in financial history. Some of you are going to get hurt on the wrong side of the change. Some of you are going to do incredibly well on the right side of the change. And subscribe to this channel, share this content, tweet this content. Help me get more people in a position where they're on the right side of this change. I will see you tomorrow with more content after my workout. Thanks for motivating me to create content after going to the gym. And I will see you on the other side. We're doing this, we're changing the financial system with peace, love, unity, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, subscribe, hit the bell symbol, hit all.